Martha here with me. Martha is absolutely amazing. She is one of our authors in the Empowering Women in STEM book, number three, The Third Vision. And I know in your chapter you talk about engineering excited your mind. And I thought that was such a great way to introduce engineering and to talk about it because it is exciting. Don't worry about those people who say that's boring. They got stuck in the calculation part, but it is exciting. There are so many wonderful things that happen every single day that you use
Absolutely.
engineering for. Yeah. So tell us about your day, Martha. Like, what do you do? Besides being,
Okay.
you know, yeah.
Yeah. So my title is I'm a power system supervising engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I have a group, and it includes myself. I'm also an individual contributor. So we are equipment engineers. So basically, we develop the technical specifications for procuring the major equipment in the substation. I handle the power transformers. So
Mm-hmm.
my team, they can handle the circuit breaker, switch gear,
Nice.
cap banks, all the equipment that would be the major equipment, what would be considered engineer equipment.
Nice.
That's one of the pieces. The other piece is really developing and working with those manufacturers in the manufacturing process. So
Um,
we will do design reviews, go through the approval drawing process, witness the factory acceptance testing,
mhm,
so anything that's critical that we want to be there to make sure that it meets all the design requirements
mhm.
and the standards. And then at the very end, make sure that it gets here the way we expect it, that
Yes.
we can, utilize it. So, and also all the test reports, we review all the test reports and make sure that all that is good. But we're also part of, we got to support the field. So this equipment is supported from beginning to end of life. So we're
Yeah.
going to be there through all this process. Anything that happens that the field needs. Um, and also, we do asset management. So the being the transformers, that's my
Mm-hmm.
area. We do monitor the dissolved gases in the
Mm-hmm.
oil, which is the
Right.
most indicative component of the health of a transformer.
Yep.
We monitor that, and we monitor for conditions that may be developing that may require
Mm-hmm.
preventive action, because
Yes.
that's why we're doing the monitoring. So we prevent any major issues. The thing that that you were talking about, which I love, is
Mhm.
truly our job. My job is never boring. Never.
No, never.
I love it. Every day it is a new thing. Plus
Mm-hmm.
things that are there, but it's the problem solving is what never changes.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to solve problems. The
Yep.
problem can be quite major or it could be simple, but we are trained to problem solve, right?
Oh
Which
yeah.
is we follow that engineering process. What do we know? What do we have?
Yeah.
Where are we go? What's the outcome that we're looking for? So I was in the private sector. So I
Mm-hmm.
was in manufacturing, I was
Nice.
in process engineering, I was a test engineer
Mm-hmm.
in the private sector. But when I came to the utility, to Austin Energy, one of the things that I really love about my path
Mm-hmm.
is that as a mother and as a woman, it
Mm-hmm.
did allow me to, instead of the 50-hour a week kind of schedules, I
Yeah.
was able to work a nice 40-hour a week,
Nice.
and it worked with my lifestyle at that
Mm-hmm.
time. It's kind of like women, or not women, but any person, if you're a parent,
Yes.
the needs change throughout your
Mm-hmm.
life. So for me, this has been great, and also because there are
Yeah.
so many opportunities to advance the technology.
Mm-hmm.
The electrical grid is extremely, of course, it's essential,
Mm-hmm. It
and it's
is.
going through tons of transformations. And we have infrastructure that needs to be
Yeah.
upgraded.
Yeah.
Some of
All
that
the
takes
time.
time. So never boring.
Never boring. And you all do such critical work. Like, We can't function without you. I think I mentioned to you before. We had a power outage on the side just before our call, and I'm like, oh my God, why? Yeah, so we need you all, definitely. And I'm just like talking from my own experience in terms of just having that. But hospitals, all of these critical
Absolutely. Absolutely.
institutions that need that, power supply at all points in time, like y'all are very, very critical. So there is no boring stuff on your side.
No. No. Yeah.
It's always on the go and it's always transformative, which I what I love about that. Tell us a little bit about why you wrote this chapter, how engineering excited your mind, a little bit about your journey, because you've been through so much, you've seen so many things within the industry, how we've evolved and, definitely gone from one thing to the next.
Yeah, yes, I mean so I wanted to write this chapter
Mhm.
because I'm very passionate about STEM
Yeah.
careers. When I started in engineering, I didn't know much about engineering.
Hmm.
You hear things, so you have kind of what people tell you, but very quickly I learned that it was just the problem-solving process.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal, fascinating,
Mm.
intriguing. I got to do a little bit of that in college, before college, which is how I ended up.
Hmm.
I got into this women's program that
Yeah.
my high school math teachers encouraged me to take, and it was exploring the different types of engineering, one area a week at the
Wow,
local
that's cool.
university. It was so great. I got to, do metallurgical, civil, a little
Mm.
bit, kind of see a little bit of the different
Yeah.
areas. Uh, and for me, STEM, this opportunity is really to share with others and not necessarily, just young people, but also other people that maybe, are problem solvers, that
Yeah.
they're intrigued by things. This is engineering is for you, for
Yeah.
sure. You
Yeah.
know, uh, what I do in my job, this is probably what I love engineering the most, is
Hmm.
that you're going to learn these skills at the university, and hey, but what you learn the most is problem solve. You
Yes.
are going to be able to take the information, whatever information they throw at you, and be
Hmm.
like, okay, that is the problem. This is what we know. This is where we want to get, and we're going to figure it out.
Right.
That process, and you're not doing it alone, right? Usually you're
No.
doing it with others. It's a team,
Hmm.
collaborative environment, which
Hmm.
I think we thrive in that,
Yes.
when we do that, because you just feed off of everybody's ideas, and
Hmm.
um, you know to that, I got the opportunity to work on just developing new products
Hmm.
and brainstorming. And I learned just how, when you have an idea, that can feed other ideas. If you respect the
Yes.
brainstorming process, and not just let it flow and let it go. Oh my goodness,
Hmm.
the things that we can create. So
Definitely.
engineering is such a not only a beautiful career,
Hmm.
uh, it can be whatever you want it to be,
Yes.
right? If you like to be challenged, you will be challenged. If you
Hmm.
want to, be designing, if you want to be, but it will not be boring. And
No.
and you
Definitely
know
not.
and then it's just in it. And yeah, like you were saying, I've gotten to see a lot of the technology evolve.
Hmm.
When I started, it was kind of like at the point where we were changing, from surface pin through to surface
Right.
mount. Everything was getting smaller. The
Yes.
semiconductor industry was just woof, like,
Yep.
exponentially evolving, and that
Hmm.
allowed us to do so much more, because everything got just, we could put
Yes.
so much more powerful things in smaller packages and
Yep.
provide what we needed. So it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes. And like, I love that you talk about a transition because when we think about 10, 15 years ago, And where we are today, we would totally be mind blown. You couldn't tell me 10 years ago that, we'd be able to use like ChatGPT in the way that we do today, or that it would have existed, because it's, I mean, it constantly changes, technology changes, and we have to adapt with it. Like, that's the thing. We always have to adapt to it. And
Absolutely.
engineers, because of their problem solving skills, they have to adapt.
That's true. And you know what I love about that too is that we're adding our conscientious approach also,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
we're going in so many areas. You could be
Mm-hmm.
doing, you name it,
Yep.
could be electronics, telephones. It could be buildings. It could be, there's
Anything.
so many things, right?
Yes.
And we are there driving that
Mm-hmm.
change and also have this
Mm-hmm.
intentionality into what we
Yes.
do to make sure that it's better, right? I mean, we are
Mm-hmm.
committed to providing a product, a solution that's going to be better for all of us, right?
Yes.
And I think that's, to me, that's another component of,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we're just not doing this with, not only meeting the requirements that are being put in front of us, but so much better than that,
So
because we
much.
can make it better than that. Mhm.
Yes, definitely. What would you say to encourage more people to get into STEM and into engineering, besides telling them that it's not boring?
I would say, yeah, I think it's definitely, um, you know, it's in your hands. To
Yes.
if you want to transform our world, you have a vision, if uh, you know, that engineering mind is the mind that's not satisfied, right? That says,
Mm.
wait a minute, really, that game? No, no, I want to see those kind of effects, or that cell
Mm-hmm.
phone, hey, or that smartphone. Oh, what about this? What about
Yes.
that? And your mind is there, and not only that, you're at that point, you're saying, I can do it.
Yep.
We
Mm-hmm.
can fix it. We
Yep.
can design
Definitely.
it. You know, and the with women, I think with us, when I started, there were many
Mm-hmm.
women in the field, and we were really ferociously really trying to work to bring more other people and uh, people areas that were unrepresented into engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Is the creativity,
Yep.
all the different perspectives that we have brought into the field just make it even more better.
Mm-hmm.
If you study some of the history of how something
Oh,
has
yeah.
developed, you're going to find out that it did evolve because of
Mm-hmm.
all the different perspectives,
Yep.
right? We are engineers, but I remember we were designing. We're coming up with an idea for a new phone,
Oh.
and one of the people thought is like, my grandmother cannot find the buttons on the phone at
Right.
that time. It was,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, it was something that fed a lot of different thoughts, right? But it was
Mm-hmm.
like somebody's perspective actually was helpful in developing something new,
Yes.
right? Maybe, and you never know what that will trigger, what
Yeah.
it will spark,
Mm-hmm.
right, as a new idea.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because that's how you get things going. That's how you evolve. That's how you keep changing in a world that is constantly changing, and that
Constantly.
you need to keep up with the times.
It's fascinating.
It is.
Fascinating.
It is not a bit boring. Oh my gosh, Martha, thank you so much for everything that you do for
Thanks.
keeping the lights on, basically.
We're here for you. We we
Yes.
we we take our job very seriously.
Yes, yes, definitely. And for sharing your journey in the third Empowering Woman in STEM book, because I love your journey. It's, very empowering. It's telling people about what they can do, what they can, what they can expect. And I just love that you've done that and that you've captured it. So thank you so much for doing that and for sharing that with us.
My
And
pleasure.
and if you haven't checked out her story yet, she is chapter 12. in the third Empowering Women in STEM book, and she talks about how engineering excited her mind and everything else because it is an exciting thing. Um, Thank you so much, and we will chat soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.